Third Course in Miracles, ACIM, Lesson 154. I am among the ministers of God. Let us today be neither arrogant nor falsely humble. We have gone beyond such foolishness. We cannot judge ourselves, nor need we do so. These are but attempts to hold decision off and to delay commitment to our function. It is not our part to judge our worth, nor can we know what role is best for us, what we can do within a larger plan we cannot see in its entirety. Our part is cast in heaven, not in hell. And what we think is weakness can be strength. What we believe to be our strength is often arrogance. Paragraph 1. The appointment. The minister does not choose the message, nor do they choose the ministry. The message chooses them. The ministry is appointed. It is not earned or evaluated or delayed by self-judgment. It arrives like a sealed envelope in the heart, already addressed, already ordained. To call yourself unworthy is just as arrogant as to call yourself supreme, because both deny the source that sent the message in the first place. The ego wants to write its own script and then audition for the role, but heaven already cast you. You are not here to edit the message, you are here to deliver it. You do not judge yourself, because you are not the judge. You do not see the full stage or the whole play, but the Spirit who cast you sees it all. What you think disqualifies you may be exactly why you were chosen. And what you think makes you special may be what holds you back. Because weakness in your eyes may be transparency in God's, and strength as the world sees it may be just disguise. So the first lesson of the minister is simple. Get out of the way of the message. Stop rejecting the call by weighing your worthiness. Stop postponing the role by pretending not to hear. You are not the source. You are the vessel. And the only qualification is your willingness to carry what was given. Whatever your appointed role may be, it was selected by the voice for God, whose function is to speak for you as well. Seeing your strengths exactly as they are, and equally aware of where they can be best applied for what, to whom, and when. He chooses and accepts your part for you. He does not work without your own consent. But he is not deceived in what you are and listens only to his voice in you. Paragraph 2 - the assignment. The minister does not assign their task. The assignment is given by the voice that knows the whole. This voice does not guess, hope, or estimate. It sees, clearly, entirely, lovingly. It looks at your gifts, not through the lens of fear or ambition, but through the clarity of purpose. It knows what you're good at, not in form but in function. It knows your honesty, your openness, your quiet readiness beneath the noise. You think you must figure out your place, but your place is already figured. You think you must strive to be useful, but your usefulness is already assured. You were chosen for a purpose far beyond your current understanding, but not beyond your current willingness. And that's what matters. The voice for God accepts your part on your behalf. That is how much you are loved. That is how deeply you are trusted. He does not listen to the voice of self-doubt that you call your own. He hears only the light in you, the truth in you, the strength you forgot was there. So the second lesson of the minister is trust. You have already been perfectly placed. The timing is right. The message is clear. The voice is still. And your only role is to say yes. It is through his ability to hear one voice, which is his own, that you become aware at last there is one voice in you. And that one voice appoints your function and relays it to you, giving you the strength to understand it, do what it entails, and to succeed in everything you do that is related to it. God has joined his Son in this, and thus his Son becomes his messenger of unity with him. Paragraph 3. The transmission. The minister is not the message, but the minister must become transparent enough that the message passes through undistorted. This is not done by trying to speak, it is done by learning to listen. The message is not yours to create, only to carry. And so the third lesson is, you are not alone. There is only one voice within you. You have believed in many, but only one is real. And when the minister quiets all the other voices, the ones of doubt, pride, shame, strategy, and fear, what remains is the voice that never left. The voice appoints your function. It gives it to you like a melody already written, waiting only for your instrument to sound it. It relays the instructions, yes, but more than that, it gives the strength to carry them out. And more than that, it ensures your success, but only in what relates to your true function. That means there is no failure in your ministry, only redirection, clarification, and alignment. You were never expected to succeed at the ego's game. You were sent to deliver the truth. And where the truth is delivered, unity is restored. This is how the messenger becomes the message. This is how the Son becomes the voice of the Father. So the third lesson of the minister is this: when you follow the voice, you cannot fail. Because it is not about doing everything, but doing what is truly yours. And that has already been written into the quiet center of your being. It is this joining through the voice for God of Father and of Son that sets apart salvation from the world. It is this voice which speaks of laws the world does not obey, which promises salvation from all sin, with guilt abolished in the mind that God created sinless. Now this mind becomes aware again of who created it and of his lasting union with itself. So is itself the one reality in which its will and that of God are joined. Paragraph 4. The frequency. The minister speaks on a frequency the world does not tune to, not because it is hidden, but because it is simple. Too simple for a world addicted to noise, complexity, and contradiction. The fourth lesson of the minister is this: your message will not come from the world, and it will not make sense to the world. Because the voice that sends you does not obey the world's laws. It doesn't promise punishment. It doesn't teach by fear. It doesn't reward based on performance. This voice declares that guilt is over, that sin never happened, that the one who thought they were lost was never gone. It is this message, this strange, liberating frequency that sets salvation apart. It is not just another self-help method or sacred routine. It is a call to remember who you are and who created you. And the one who created you is not at war with you. He is joined with you. Your will is his, not similar, the same, not parallel, one. So the minister is not here to perform, to please, or to prove. The minister is here to broadcast the signal from a reality that never changed. And when that frequency is received, even once, the mind awakens from the dream of division. Because one will, one mind, one message is enough to end all suffering. A messenger is not the one who writes the message he delivers. Nor does he question the right of him who does, nor ask why he has chosen those who will receive the message that he brings. It is enough that he accept it, give it to the ones for whom it is intended, and fulfill his role in its delivery. If he determines what the messages should be, or what their purpose is, or where they should be carried, he is failing to perform his proper part as bringer of the word. Paragraph 5. The courier. The minister is not the author. The minister is the courier. The fifth lesson is surrender. You do not write the message, you carry it. The ego hates this. It wants to compose the letter, pick the audience, edit the tone, and sign its name at the bottom. But that's not the role. And every time the messenger tries to be the author, the message gets lost. You don't get to ask why the message came to you. You don't get to choose who receives it. You don't get to change it to fit the world's preferences or your personal doubts. The message is pure. The message is whole. The message is not your responsibility to create, only to deliver. And in that delivery, you fulfill your role. Not by knowing, but by trusting. Not by controlling, but by extending. You are the bringer of light, not its generator. You are the bringer of love, not its source. You are the one who walks from house to house with a sealed scroll, never opening it to interpret, only handing it over with a bowed head and open heart. So the fifth lesson of the minister is this: you carry something holy. Handle it with humility. Do not rewrite it. Do not withhold it. Do not judge it or those it's sent to. Let the word walk through you, untouched, unchanged, and unashamed. There is one major difference in the role of heaven's messengers, which sets them off from those the world appoints. The messages that they deliver are intended first for them. And it is only as they can accept them for themselves that they become able to bring them further and to give them everywhere that they were meant to be. Like earthly messengers, they did not write the messages they bear, but they become their first receivers in the truest sense, receiving to prepare themselves to give. Paragraph 6. The first receiver. The minister must drink first. Not because they are more important, but because they cannot give what they have not received. The sixth lesson is embodiment. You are not just a messenger of truth. You are the first recipient. This is what sets heaven's ministers apart. They are not deliverers of someone else's wisdom. They are deliverers of their own healing. Their hands still glow from holding the gift. Before the message ever passes their lips, it pierces their hearts. Before it ever soothes another, it undoes their own illusions. Before it travels outward, it wells up from within. You don't stand outside the circle of grace, trying to shout instructions inward. You are brought into the center, bathed in it, broken by it, blessed by it, and then sent forth with that same radiance still clinging to your skin. The ego's messenger thinks they are excluded from the blessing, that their job is to give what they do not have. But God's messengers give only because they have first received. So the sixth lesson of the minister is this: your healing is not separate from your giving. Your forgiveness is not separate from your teaching. The message is not a task, it is a lifeline. And the moment it saves you, it is ready to save another. An earthly messenger fulfills his role by giving all his messages away. The messengers of God perform their part by their acceptance of his messages as for themselves, and show they understand the messages by giving them away. They choose no roles that are not given them by his authority, and so they gain by every message that they give away. Paragraph 7. The overflow. The minister of God does not deplete through giving. The minister of God increases. The seventh lesson is this: what you give away is what you prove you have. The ego teaches loss. It says, if I give it, I won't have it anymore. But heaven teaches overflow. It says, only in giving can I know I truly received. You are not delivering a package. You are sharing your own transformation. Each message is not just passed along. It is planted in you, and what blooms from it feeds the world. An earthly messenger delivers a message and walks away unchanged. But heaven's messenger is changed by every word. Because the message confirms their place, their function, their union. It isn't a transaction, it's a circulation. You don't choose your role. You don't self-assign spiritual importance. You say yes to what has already been given, and in that yes you gain everything. The world may see giving as loss, but to the messenger of God, giving is declaration. It says, I know this is mine, because I give it freely. So the seventh lesson of the minister is this. You grow by extending. You remember by offering. You confirm the message every time you give it away without fear. And in that moment, you are both the messenger and the message, the witness and the proof. Would you receive the messages of God? For thus do you become his messenger. You are appointed now. And yet you wait to give the messages you have received. And so you do not know that they are yours, and do not recognize them. No one can receive and understand he has received until he gives. For in the giving is his own acceptance of what he received. Paragraph 8. The activation. The message does not become yours when you hear it. It becomes yours when you give it. The eighth lesson of the minister is this. The message is activated in the giving. You can study the light. You can sit with it. You can carry it in your hands and call it sacred. But until you extend it, freely, joyfully, without demand, you do not know it is yours. The message is not a concept. It is a living current. And it does not stay still. It was never meant to be stored. It was meant to flow. To receive the message of God is to realize the message is not about you. It is about everyone. And yet, the moment you give it, you are the one who is blessed. So, what are you waiting for? Why delay your own realization by withholding your hand? To hold the message and not deliver it is to believe it might not be true. But once you give it, once you see it touch another, it dawns on you. This has always been mine. The messenger confirms the message not by guarding it, but by letting it go. And in that release, the message takes root in the one who gave it. So the eighth lesson is simple and sure. You know what you have by giving it. You know who you are by extending what you were given. And you know the voice is real when you stop waiting and start sharing. You who are now the messenger of God receive his messages. For that is part of your appointed role. God has not failed to offer what you need, nor has it been left unaccepted. Yet another part of your appointed task is yet to be accomplished. He who has received for you the messages of God would have them be received by you as well. For thus do you identify with him and claim your own. Paragraph 9. The receiving line. The minister stands in a sacred relay. The message was given to the voice, and the voice gives it to you. But it does not stop there, because what you receive must be recognized as yours. The ninth lesson is identification. You are not just the messenger, you are the message's rightful heir. God has not failed to provide. Nothing you need has been withheld. The voice that speaks for him has taken nothing for itself. Everything it received it now places in your open hands. But here's the key. You must recognize it as yours. Not just words from above, but the very blueprint of your being. The message isn't a separate scroll handed down from heaven. It is your own forgotten name, returned to you in love. The voice gives, and you receive. And in receiving you realize, I am not apart from the giver. I am joined. I am one. I am the witness that the message is true because it lives in me. So, the 9th lesson of the minister is this. Claim what has already been given. Do not let it sit unopened on the altar of your heart. The message is not a mission. It is a memory. And in remembering, you step fully into your role, not just as a courier, but as a child of the light. It is this joining that we undertake to recognize today. We will not seek to keep our minds apart from him who speaks for us, for it is but our voice we hear as we attend him. He alone can speak to us and for us, joining in one voice the getting and the giving of God's word, the giving and receiving of his will. Paragraph 10. The one voice. The minister listens to the voice and then discovers it was their voice all along. The 10th lesson is union. There is no gap between the giver and the receiver, the speaker and the hearer. You are not separate from the one who speaks. You are not separate from the message you share. You are not even separate from the ones you share it with. There is only one voice, and that one voice gives and receives in the same breath. When you listen with an undivided mind, you don't just hear the word of God, you remember you are it. This is the healing of disjoining. This is the collapse of separation. You stop trying to serve God from a distance. You stop imagining a pipeline of wisdom running from heaven to earth, with you stuck somewhere in the middle, trying to manage the flow. Number. You are in the current. You are the current. The word speaks through you because it speaks as you. You are not apart from the one who sends, and you are not apart from the ones who receive. There is no delivery route anymore, just a field of light where giving is receiving. So the 10th lesson of the minister is this. There is only one voice, and it speaks only of unity. The messenger, the message, the mind that gave it, and the mind that receives are one. We practice giving him what he would have, that we may recognize his gifts to us. He needs our voice that he may speak through us. He needs our hands to hold his messages and carry them to those whom he appoints. He needs our feet to bring us where he wills, that those who wait in misery may be at last delivered. And he needs our will, united with his own, that we may be the true receivers of the gifts he gives. Paragraph 11. The instrument. The minister is the instrument. Not just the voice, but the hands. Not just the words, but the feet. Not just the body, but the will. The 11th lesson is availability. Your entire being becomes the altar upon which the message rests. He needs your voice, not for your eloquence, but for your willingness. He needs your hands, not to create, but to carry. He needs your feet, not to wander, but to walk with purpose toward those who cry for help. He does not need your performance. He does not need your resume. He needs your availability. He needs your yes. But above all, he needs your will, not as a separate power, but as a joined one. You are not being used. You are being restored. You are being synchronized to the will you never left. And as your will unites with his, you stop resisting the path laid before you. You stop hesitating at the doorsteps of those in need. You stop second-guessing the voice within. Because now you understand. This is not a job. It is a joy. Not an obligation, an invitation. And when you say yes with all of you, with voice, hands, feet, and will, the message delivers you as much as it delivers them. So, the 11th lesson of the minister is this. Be available in every part of you. Let your body carry what your spirit already knows. Let your will say yes to the journey that delivers the world back to itself. Let us but learn this lesson for today. We will not recognize what we receive until we give it. You have heard this said 100 ways, 100 times, and yet belief is lacking still. But this is sure. Until belief is given it, you will receive 1,000 miracles and then receive 1,000 more. But will not know that God himself has left no gift beyond what you already have, nor has denied the tiniest of blessings to his Son. What can this mean to you until you have identified with him and with his own? Paragraph 12. The threshold. The message is not lacking. The miracles are not scarce. The gifts have not been withheld. The 12th lesson is realization. You have been showered with grace, but until you believe it, you walk as if you are empty-handed. You will not recognize what you receive until you give it. This is not poetry. It is circuitry. It is the divine economy of truth. You can't understand light by studying it. You must shine it. And the moment you do, you realize it was yours all along. So yes, you've received 1,000 miracles. And yes, you'll receive 1,000 more. But none of them will feel like miracles until you stop waiting and start giving. What is the miracle then? Not just a shift in perception, but a shift in identity. The miracle is not a fix, it's a recognition. God has already given you everything. But as long as you withhold your part, as long as you say not yet or not me, the gifts remain wrapped, though stacked sky high at your feet. This paragraph is a wake-up. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on your recognition. And what does he want you to recognize? That you are not apart from him. That you are not outside his will. That you are not a beggar, but a co-heir of every blessing he has ever extended. So the 12th lesson of the minister is this. You must give to know. You must share to see. You must extend to feel the miracle flood back into you. And when you do, it will no longer be 1,000 miracles. It will be one miracle, endlessly reflected, endlessly yours. Our lesson for today is stated thus: I am among the ministers of God, and I am grateful that I have the means by which to recognize that I am free. Paragraph 13. The freedom of function. Freedom is not escape. It is not distance from duty. It is not the absence of responsibility. Freedom is function restored. Freedom is identity remembered. Freedom is the end of pretending to be something you're not. The 13th lesson is gratitude. Your release lies not in what you avoid, but in what you accept. I am among the ministers of God. Not someday. Not if you study hard enough. Now. Already. Appointed, anointed, and available. And the reason this makes you free is because it undoes the central lie. That you are alone. That you must fend for yourself. That you must figure it all out. That your worth is up for debate. To be a minister of God is to step back into alignment with what was always true. It is to stop running, stop hiding, stop searching, and begin serving from a place of peace. What is freedom, mighty companions? It is no longer needing to be anything other than what God created. It is the deep exhale of purpose fulfilled. The stillness of knowing you are used by love for love and through love. And the means by which you recognize this freedom is the message itself. It delivers not just peace to others, but the unshakable knowing that you have never left your place in the mind of God. So, the 13th lesson of the minister is this: to serve is to be free, because you serve the truth. And truth is not a burden. It is a homecoming. It is a release from all the roles you were never meant to play. The world recedes as we light up our minds and realize these holy words are true. They are the message sent to us today from our Creator. Now we demonstrate how they have changed our minds about ourselves and what our function is. For as we prove that we accept no will, we do not share. Our many gifts from our Creator will spring to our sight and leap into our hands, and we will recognize what we received. Paragraph 14. The Unveiling. The minister does not transform the world. The minister transforms their mind. And in that shift, the world, like a shadow in sunlight, recedes. The 14th lesson is demonstration. You prove what you believe by how you live, not by what you say. When your will is no longer divided, when you no longer serve fear in one breath and love in the next, the gifts of God no longer hide. They do not come from outside you. They rise, like bread already leavened, like light behind the veil. They spring into your sight because your sight is now true. They leap into your hands because you've stopped pushing them away. You don't need to search for proof of your holiness. You are the proof. Each step you take in alignment, each word you offer from a joined will, each extension that carries no demand, is the evidence that you and your Creator are not two. The message was never just words. It was always meant to be embodied, to live through you, to become you. And as you walk in this function, not trying to convince the world, but simply being who you are, the gifts come rushing forth, not because they were late, but because you are finally home to receive them. So the final lesson of the minister is this: when the will is shared, the gifts are seen. When the message is lived, the miracle is recognized. When the mind is lit, the world fades. Not in despair, but in reverence, because something truer has come to take its place. And that something is you.